So, welcome back, everybody. It's Last Call, and yeah, that was fun. I always like it's a weird balancing act because I think the banter is better when there's two of us, but I think the content is better when there's three of us because to getting multiple points of view. Because a lot of times between the three of us, two of us agree most of the time on something. It's rare that we all three agree on something. I think there's always some dissent sometimes on most issues, and when it's just two of us, a lot of times we agree on everything, as that doesn't make for a very easy conversation or a engaging conversation. Like, yeah, dude, totally right.
Yeah, well, at least you still bring up like different points in that instance, but I mean, you're totally right.
See, tell me that I'm wrong.
If Tim were here, he'd be like, "Fuck you, David." No,
No, he'd find
that's
a
me.
much
I'm the
more.
one who says "fuck you, David."
I think Tim would have a way more subtle way of getting it across. It'd be just as clear, but far more subtle. So,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. So I told you this right before we came on here. I have a very, very bad idea on how we can record the episode while I'm on the '90s cruise.
Okay.
If
When's the
we
'90s
waited,
cruise?
it's the last week of January. I think 20. I think that the night we would normally record is like the 26th or maybe the 27th or something like that.
Hmm.
Uh, or maybe I'm awful now. I don't know what date it is. But if we were to delay it a day, if we were to delay it to Wednesday instead of recording on Tuesday, uh, for whatever reason, this cruise is porting on its way back in Key West, which means I will technically be in the country. And assuming that the ship Wi-Fi doesn't work very well, my phone would still work, and I could actually manage the podcast from my phone the entire time.
Yeah, but Key West is like rad. I
Yeah,
like
but
Key
we'd be
West
doing.
a lot.
Yeah, but but the podcast is at night. That'd be a Wednesday. You guys would be working during the day. I'm going on a pub crawl in Key West on that day.
So you're gonna be
Pretty much,
wasted.
dude. It's a '90s cruise, man.
Yeah,
I get back and I'm peeing blood, dude. It's like not good. It is not a good thing.
boy.
Some people like distill or not distill, but like filter their own pee to in deserts or whatever. Man, you can just drink my straight pee from the ice cruise and you'll get drunk as fuck, man. It's the full alcohol content, full
All
on.
right. No, this podcast got weirder than usual, but all right.
They canceled the '90s cruise for next year.
Is it because of you peeing blood?
Yeah, yeah. No,
You
no, they said
reported it
that
and they were like, we got liability issues, guys. We can't just keep doing this.
I didn't report it. They listened to the podcast. They listen to everybody. So, my
Yeah.
TikTok live's been canceled.
Canceled.
Oh, because I haven't done anything yet to do this. Oh, I didn't drag it in the right place. I drug a puzzle piece. A lot of people got dumped in here, and a lot of people left immediately.
Funny. I bet that's a pretty normal type thing with TikTok.
I scroll. I mean, there are people that I subscribe to on TikTok that I thoroughly enjoy other content. I watch all of their recorded, produced content. If I scroll through them and it's on a live, scroll right past them. Don't care.
The lives on TikTok are so boring. They're like the worst thirst traps ever because like there's just zero payoff at all. Like at least on like other thirst traps, there's like something at some
Yeah, no, there
point.
was. I think the longest one I ever watched was like this guy had been like trying to like get people to sign up for this thing that he's doing or whatever, and this was the night that it was going to be unveiled. So he was watching as the returns were coming in, so kind of like watching a political race type thing. And I watched that. I probably watched that for 20 or 30 minutes, but his other stuff, just randomly talking about whatever.
Your lockpick guy doesn't do any
I don't
live.
watch the Lockpick guy doesn't post a lot of content anymore. And I've stopped watching most of it, to be honest with you.
I mean, there can only be so many videos that are just like, yeah, this lock sucks. I got into it in 2 seconds.
Well, that was what it was. Like all of his videos were like 2.5 minutes long. The first 45 seconds was talking about the lock. The next 10 seconds was how him picking the lock, and the other minute and a half was just talking about the lock. So yeah,
I basically learned any lock that's available to me is worthless. It's for my own peace of mind. It's so easy for anyone who cares enough to break into it could break into it. And so it's like, oh, well, what the fuck am I locking anything for?
you're locking people from the casual passer buyer
Yeah.
from making a poor decision for their life,
Yeah.
or I should say for their life, but making
For my
a
life.
bad for your life. Yeah. But like, yeah, if you have something that like, somebody specifically wants to come and get, yeah, a lock's not going to do anything for you anymore. These things are just.
That's crazy.
I used to be really, really big into watching YouTube videos, and pretty much now I only watch just one channel that does like the reviews of like Marvel trailers and
Oh, which
discussion
one do you
about
watch?
new rock stars.
I don't know that one. I watch Digital Charcuterie, which is DC mostly, and
Okay.
Boba Speaks, I think is his name. It's like this weird British guy.
I haven't heard of either one. New rock stars.
They're both
Sometime.
DC, mostly DC, because I've just been getting into this James Gunn DC universe because I
So these
love Superman so much.
would probably say they're Marvel #1, but they're definitely superhero focused. So they cover DC just as much. But I think the guys are just more Marvel people. But then also they do Star Wars, they'll do Last of Us, and they kind of cover all the bases of my type. But they cover shit that I don't watch too, or games I don't play and things. So I skip a lot of them.
Yeah.
But yeah. I know them and like Screen Rant. I think it's called Screen Rant is another one.
I've seen that one. I think.
Yeah, they're all right. So, but yeah, that's pretty much. Like, I don't subscribe to Screen Rant. I don't need to subscribe to more than one of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
That and then like SEC Shorts and Matt Mitchell and those guys that just do jokey college football stuff, even if it doesn't apply to Georgia State.
They said chokey, and I was like, "Excuse me."
Oh, well, that's a different channel I watch.
Yeah. All right, you do you, buddy.
Well, okay. So anyhow, how cool would it be for Jesse Minter to be a Falcons head coach?
It would in fact be rad, but I feel like we've talked that into the ground.
I know, but I was just thinking, like, if they did announce Jesse Minter, I would, as Falcons head coach, I would apply for state of Atlanta to get press credentials just for at least one thing, to go to like something where I could ask Minter a question about Georgia State the entire time.
Yeah. Hey, are you gonna? I have an extra ticket. Would you like to be my guest? Any game you like.
Exactly. I know you're probably busy on Saturday getting ready for Sundays, but.
And dear God, I hope they would let you into the stadium anywhere you like without my ticket. But I, again, don't have confidence that that's true.
Do you think if Jesse Minter was named the head coach of the Falcons, that Georgia State would reach out in any capacity to acknowledge him?
Yes, because we would do it. And so I do think in some capacity he would be reached out to by Georgia State. We would.
Just not.
Ben would, I'm sure, I'm positive. Many people from Georgia State would reach out to Jesse Minter, but the University of Georgia State, Georgia State University would not reach out to Minter.
Nobody with a .edu email address is going to be reaching out, is what you're saying.
No, you will. So I already said that. You would do that.
Hey, my email address dies in like 10 months, 11 months or something like that.
I feel like I had mine for like 10 years or something before I got an email that was like, we're turning this shit off, man.
I don't know specifically, but I just asked ChatGPT how long student email addresses would operate, and specifically Georgia State, and it said typically 12 months is when Georgia State cuts off their student email addresses.
That's good for them.
I mean, that kind of makes sense.
I mean, nobody uses it while they're there, so it makes sense to not use the space when they're not there.
No one used it when I was there originally, because email was still pretty fresh for people back then, and it was like really weird.
The internet had just been invented.
Well, it was invented a long time ago, but as far as like mainstream use, no, I mean, I didn't really ever use my email address at all back in the night. I think I logged in. I was in school back then for probably like consistently for the better part of 6 to 8 years before I stopped going, and I probably logged into my email address a half dozen times. It wasn't a thing, but now, when I was there, I couldn't keep up with all the garbage emails, and it wasn't getting spam. It was getting university emails. It was getting specific emails. But I'm like, you send too many. It was so many emails. When I stopped looking at it,
none of them were athletics, right? Not a single one.
Barely any. I would say less than 5%, but I think that's giving athletics too much credit. It was probably 1% or less of my emails were from athletics about something. Like all these things they talk about, they do. I never saw any of it. And then the whole thing about becoming a pack member, like a free pack member for 1 year from Center Park and
Yeah.
getting guaranteed tickets. We already talked about how that website didn't even work, but it was never communicated to me. I never got that email. And
Yeah.
and you know what? And maybe it wasn't supposed to come out at the winter graduations. Maybe it wasn't part of the whole thing, but maybe that's just a spring graduation thing. I
Well, that's a
don't
different
know.
problem.
I don't know why. I don't know why somebody graduating in the winter is any different of a potential donor to athletics and the alumni association than somebody graduating in summer or
I
spring
mean, I
or
think we
any.
just GSU'd it. That's all.
Yeah.
And that's fine. It happens.
But yeah,
The thing is those types of things in a vacuum, you can just be like, whatever. But like, it's the over and over and over again that every single time we do anything, we kind of screw it up. And it's like, well, guys, like, I understand we're nitpicking a little bit here. It's a pretty big nitpick, though. It's a pretty big screw up. You had all like hundreds of people in that room, and they all went to this URL, and that URL did not do anything. That did not do the thing that you wanted to do, and a lot of people just gave up. And you might miss 100 people. I don't know. And that's 100 people we're not going to have, and 100 people matter when you only have a couple thousand people showing up to any given game. So
exactly.
and it's just time after time again. It's like every single thing is like we can't do it right, and it's like, all right,
Well,
at
you
some
know,
point, yeah,
and there was kind of a reasonable exception to this. We talked about it last week about the national anthem for that doubleheader game. It's pretty reasonable. We did it for the first game of the doubleheader. We didn't do it for
yeah,
both games, whatever. But it seems off about that. And I know some people don't even understand why you play the national anthem before games, but everybody does. It's part of sports. And like I said, I was trying to get across before. My father-in-law went to the game with me. It is only ever Georgia State basketball game he's ever gone to, or any Georgia State event he's ever gone to before. And his takeaway from that is, they didn't play the national anthem before the game. Like that's his takeaway from the game.
yeah, yeah.
So
We do. I mean, famously, Georgia State hates America, so it is what it is. Sorry, Dad.
hey, cheers. But it's fucking great.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I hear you, and it's just like time after time, there's just problem after problem, and that one's really, I can't believe anyone noticed. But maybe you know what? Actually, I don't know. Maybe I would have noticed too, because I don't. The thing is I stand up. I don't do kneeling. I don't stay seated, anything like that. I have stayed seated, like in the heat of the Kaepernick stuff. I never took a knee. That was a bit too much. But I take off my hat, and it's not out of respect for the country necessarily, because I think the country is pretty sucky right now and maybe doesn't deserve a ton of respect. But it's out of respect for people around me who care, right? And so like
Yeah.
you, for instance, you do care about that kind of thing, and I'm not trying to make you feel any kind of
I,
way. I'm not trying to make Norm feel any
I
kind of
don't
way.
I don't
Tim,
do I don't do anything more than you do. I stand. I don't even put my hand over my heart. Like I respect it, but I don't.
take my hat.
I take.
I stand up and
I,
take
ta-
my hat off.
I stand up and take my hat off.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have like the hat over the heart time like that. But typically I put my hands behind my back, and
Yeah,
that's
I got
not
my
like
hands crossed, usually in the front or the back. But
yeah. So
again,
whatever.
it's if I don't respect, I don't necessarily respect. And let me just be super clear. I love our country and what we represent and all that stuff. I just think we kind of suck right now, and we've sucked for a long time. It's not new. In case anyone's worried about anything like that, but yeah, it's just like. But I still respect all the individuals that make it up, and like, I don't want to piss anybody off over that. It's like that's an easy thing.
It's the same reason why I open the door for somebody at the grocery. Well, I guess they're sliding. Open the door for somebody at the doctor's office, or I let somebody cut in front of me in traffic, or whatever. It's
Mhm.
like I'm just we're all on the same team, whatever that
Oh, yeah.
team may be. We're all here together. We all live in the same community together. I don't want to piss anybody off. I don't want anybody to piss me off. And if it takes the bare minimum to just keep everything chill, it takes bare minimum to take things chill.
Why would I disrespect somebody I don't even know? That doesn't make any sense. I can respect them and still like have my feelings and express them.
Two exceptions: Trash Down South or Saints fans. Fuck those people.
Yeah, but I feel like I know them. I know enough about them.
That I want them to die.
Yeah. Well. Oh,
No.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
I want them to continue existence in a plane of dimension nowhere near mine.
I don't give a shit about them.
I guess that's probably a better way of phrasing it.
Yeah, apathy. Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't want anything for them because I don't care.
I don't want them to feel pain unless it's just losses.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I want that. I want them to feel the pain of loss. That's true. And let me clarify, sports loss. An L in the WL column, not like I don't want their dad to die.
I don't want them to lose the beautiful Eagle. I don't want them to lose beautiful Eagle Creek either. I want them to make sure they have that forever.
I don't think they're ever going to be able to scrub that from the geography of that part of the country. I'm pretty sure beautiful Eagle Creek is there. And they can cover it in, and it still smell. You still smell it.
Nah, it's just Statesboro.
Yeah, something's still going to drain into that area too.
That's South Carolina. So
South Carolina's still going to drain into that area. Ugh,
yeah,
gross.
All right, I think we kind of beat this horse to death.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, all right, thanks, Brian, for listening. We'll be back next week, hopefully with Tim back in order.
Feel better, Tim, if you're listening.
We can make him tell us about why he decided to make the bad decisions, like going to New Orleans, because we all know that place. So
you know what? He probably the sickest I've ever been was when Lizzie gave me hand, foot, and mouth. It was like the worst. I missed an App State home game. Well, we were home against App State.
You were in pain. You were not.
It's the sickest I've ever been, and I could not be at a computer or anything like that. I would have canceled on all your asses too. And if he's that sick, man, I swear to God, I feel bad for him. I need to send him some flowers or something. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that being in New Orleans gets you hand, foot, mouth, and ass disease.
That's what I'm saying. It might be worse, right? You get hand, foot, and mouth when you're in New Orleans.
And ass.
And hand, foot, mouth, and ass.
Exactly.
Is the title of our last call?
Hand, foot, mouth, and ass. It takes me so long to come up with title names. I do not want to worry about coming up with last call title names.
Yeah.
But anyhow, thanks, Ryan, for listening. We'll talk to you next week. Say goodbye, guy.
Goodbye, guy.